In this video, we're going to go over class inheritance in Python. So we're going to write a very general class called non-playing character, which has a lot of general attributes that all non-playing characters have. We're going to make a more specific monster class, but rather than rewriting all the code that goes into non-playing character classes, we're just going to inherit that functionality. It's going to save a lot of code writing, and for maintenance, it's going to be great in the future. Let's go ahead and get started with class inheritance. So let's say we're writing our video game and we need a class called non-playing character, right? So we're going to have like shopkeepers, we're going to have like monsters, maybe we'll have like undead non-playing characters, things like that. Let's make a constructor for our non-playing character, underscore underscore or dunderscore, init underscore underscore. That's the typical constructor. We'll say self name, and let's give it health. We'll give it stamina too. That's the energy it has left. So this class is going to have attributes, or each object will have an attribute. We're going to use self, that keyword there. Well, it's not really a keyword, but a conventional word. Self.name will be the name that we passed in. Self.health. Ooh, let's see if we got that one. And then self.stamina. That'll get us started, right? There's our stamina. We need to give it a little bit of functionality. Let's just do, so we say attack. Everything needs to be able to defend itself. So we'll say, or maybe even be aggressive. We'll say attack self. We'll pass in an opponent class, opponent, and then a cost associated with the attack. All right, and we'll say print attack, and maybe put the opponent. We'll have a toString in there, right? Opponent. I should have got an easier word. There we go. Now, I'm not going to use the format. I will use an F string. So it's a lot like the format. You put an F in front of the string, and then whatever you put in the curly brackets, it's going to print out. We're going to assume that opponent is going to have a toString method associated with it. Then let's do self. We'll do stamina minus equals our cost. There we go. Costed something. And I got a spelling error right here. Let's just change attach to attack. All right. I can make an instance of a non-playing character. So I will make a monster object. Monster is a non-playing character. We will call him Ralph. Let's see. Ralph. Give him a health of 100, stamina of 50. So Ralph is going to attack the shopkeeper. Let's do monster dot attack. There it is. Self is going to be the monster, so we don't have to do anything with that. That's going to be the monster. The first argument is going to be the opponent. We'll say shopkeeper. And then the cost is the stamina associated with the attack. We'll say 10 points. Let's go ahead and run this. Look at that. So attack shopkeeper. Now at some point you're going to have more specific non-playing characters. Let's make our first real monster class. We'll make the Woozle class. We're going to go down 2 extra lines. I'll do a class Woozle. And there's no real way of spelling it because I didn't make it up. I heard it somewhere. I don't know where I heard it from. Let's do non-playing character. That's what Woozle is going to extend. So if you did Java, it would be like Woozle extends non-playing character. This is how you write it in Python. So we're extending our non-playing character. And then we're going to make our own functionality. Let's do def for make noise. And self will get passed in. That's perfect. We'll just do like print screech. All right, and then they also eat hair, but we'll get to that. Now the Woozle has all the functionality of the non-playing character right off the bat, plus the added functionality of making a noise. Let's go ahead and change our monster to Woozle. Control C, Control V, and we have a Woozle named Ralph. This is going to play exactly the same. Nice. Just go ahead and close this. But maybe we want to make some noise. So we'll say monster makes sound. And we don't need to pass anything in. That monster is that self. We'll just do run, screech. All right, that's pretty cool. Maybe we need to override some of the functionality in non-playing character. Woozles might need something more, like they might need a sound to be passed in the constructor. How do we do this? When the constructor in this class is the same as the base class, you don't need a constructor, but we want to make our own constructor for our Woozle. I'm going to copy this. Control C. I'm going to go down to Woozle, Control V, and then I'm going to modify this by adding a sound. And I still want to use the functionality of the base class for these variables. So on the next line, I'm going to do super, and super means the class above it, right? The base class in our case, non-playing character, open and close parenthesis, dot. We'll do our underscore and net, right? We're not going to need self when we use super, but we will need to pass in the 3 original variables. Now that's going to go into the non-playing character stuff. We don't have to duplicate that code. We can just come right down here and then get a self sound and then assign the new sound to it. We go down to our make noise, screech, right? We could do let's do an F string. So we'll say make a open and close parentheses self.sound, whatever sound this Woozle was initialized with. Make an F right there. That should do it. We go down to Woozle. Oh, look at that. That's yellow. Hey, we're missing sound. Let's do screech. And now we should be good. I'm going to move this way. Let's hit play. And make a screech. All right, so we changed it a little bit so you can see the difference. Now, the older way of doing this call is to put the base class, Control C, right here. And then you have to put self right here. We don't do that very often anymore. But there's a lot more code floating around like this than there is new style, right? Everybody's maintaining a lot of code. So let's try this to see if it's any different. It should still say make screech. We should still get no errors. Sweet. All right, just be aware of that. So if you see the base class right here, right now what we normally do is say super, open and close parentheses, and then get rid of that self. That's just the new way of doing it. Now when you create your game, you could have Woozles that extend non-playing characters, shopkeepers, wolves, monsters, zombies, whatever you're going to do, as long as they have the same functionality as the non-playing character base class or similar functionality that you want to extend. Now you can save some code.